This is where the cool podcast intro is supposed to go, but I forgot to finish it. Anyway, here's Scuffed as Fuck. Welcome to the Scuffed as Fuck podcast, the only place where nostalgia is a buzzing CRT TV and the vibes are bigger than the pixels themselves. I'm your host, Crash Bandicoot, standing outside the window of Pizza Hut in 90s, aka Koda. And with me today from the Olympic Games, having just outran the blue blur himself, is Mario. I mean, Cubic.
I beat that pussy, Sonic. Let's go.
How are you today, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling a little spicy.
I can tell you're feeling a little spicy, but that's also perfect for this topic today. We're gonna be covering how gaming ads, like video games and console ads, have changed from when it was their early inception to now. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I feel whenever this idea was first pitched, I thought about how back in the day, I'm talking like 70s and 90s when video games were starting to really pick up speed. It
Mhm.
was more about it was more product first, you know? Like people would see that and they would be like, "Oh wow, it's this cool new technology we got to get." Whereas nowadays
Right.
it's more like they're trying to sell you an ecosystem or like a community you're meant to be a part of. Because I think about things like Fortnite or Marvel Rivals where those are free to play, but they are really trying to
Mhm.
sell you like the tie-ins and the passes and the people that stream it, things like that. So
Right.
it's come a long way within what 50, 60 years.
Yeah. Yeah. 70 to 2020. Yeah. No, about 50 years. Almost 60.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. It's crazy.
it really
Um,
is.
yeah. No, I will say as well, like it has changed a lot over the years. Not only are you talking about like the battle passes and the ecosystem and all that stuff, but like, you know, a lot of games nowadays are a lot more focused on putting the score out there first.
Mm,
Like
okay.
you'll see a little bit of the game and then you'll see an entire shot that has just 9.5, 9.8, 10 out of 10, best game ever, game of the year possibly, like all these reviews from different places before it actually gets into even a tiny little bit of the game. And sometimes they don't even have that. They just expect you to go off of the good reviews that they've gotten.
Mhm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, and
And
we've
like,
we've uh we've like lightly touched on that before, like how important are game reviews, And to
right.
I feel like to like maybe to shareholders, I don't know, maybe that's like a big thing, but I've seen plenty of examples of things having a really terrible, game critic score, but the audience score was like phenomenal.
Right. It's just like with movies, Rotten Tomatoes, it can have a really low critic score, but one of the highest audience scores in it.
Yeah.
You can never really trust what the actual like reviewers say necessarily. It's always based on a see it yourself first, at least in my case.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And that's interesting because you mentioned seeing it yourself. I think over the decades, how people would see that message has been a lot different. You know what I mean? So, like, back in the day, really, you only saw magazine ads or TV commercials. But nowadays,
Hmm.
it's more like they release a live stream or they release a trailer, and your
Yep, they'll do
advertisement is you.
devlogs.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Your advertisement is you watching someone else reacting to it, or yourself
Hmm.
reacting to it.
Yep, they'll do devlogs that'll show you an inside look of how the game is being made, or they'll like, have early access people going in and streaming it and to the open world, and yeah, all of its
Yeah,
all of your views come from watching other people play it rather than actually playing it yourself.
Yeah, totally.
It is kind of crazy because even in the most recent one I could think of was for Borderlands 4 when it was announced. I remember I've always been a fan of the Borderlands series, but I remember when Borderlands 4 was announced, I watched the trailer and it had almost nothing in it besides just the date at the end. Really hard to have anything to go off of to be excited for. And it
Hmm.
wasn't until they had like an actual first look with live streamers playing it on on the it was either on the Xbox On channel or one of the other ones, but it was basically like not even the company themselves. They sent out codes to these people and let them play early access and show off bits and pieces of the game for it released. And it's like it's kind of crazy to think that you couldn't just show that in a trailer, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest with you, I think it was more a sign of what was the landscape of gaming in the public's eyes. Because I think about, like, when the video game market crashed in the '70s because it was oversaturated and a bunch of slop was getting put out,
Mhm.
Nintendo especially, they really had to they relied on, like they relied on Rob. You know Rob, the little robot guy?
Yeah. Yep. He was relied on pretty heavily.
Yeah. Some say he was a Trojan horse. I don't know if you've ever seen the, the gaming historian video, but, that's how he was
I don't think I
described.
have.
It was like he was put up as a front along with, the Zapper and a couple of other add-ons, but
Well, of
that
course.
was a that was a front to get video games back into the home, because a lot of people would look at a video game and be like, "Ew, what kinda crap are they gonna put out on this thing?" So
Well,
that really kinda sparked a new revival.
that's actually a really good point because in the 80s, whenever they started doing that, they focused a lot more towards kids and stuff. And so Nintendo even started putting all of their consoles out in the toy section, and they would usually have it bundled with Rob or
Yeah.
something to that extent. So it was like they were really just trying to get it towards the kids more than anything. And I think it wasn't until the 90s when they started like the video game industry actually started to take a boom and like people were getting more and more interested in it that they started being like, "Oh, let's advertise this for everybody."
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I think
And
people are
it's
realizing that, like, new technologies are meant for more than just children.
mhm. And I think that's why a lot like as much as I talk shit on it, I think that's why a lot of games nowadays do the reviews more than anything is because um like all these people that grew up playing video games from the 90s are now old enough that like they're just buying this shit for themselves. And so like they're going off of what they know and what they like rather than actually looking at these like I mean, like Nerf. Nerf was a really cool thing to see at commercials for when you were a kid. Nowadays you could go out and buy your own Nerf gun. You're probably not gonna. And why would you watch the ads over it? I mean, unless you're, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it's like as you get older, the in your face action kind of stops being as cool as it was when you were a kid.
Yeah. I know what you mean, because I think about how old marketing kind of sold a fantasy through the art that it would put out, whereas
Mhm.
nowadays it's more the games really have to prove gameplay. So I
Yeah.
think about, like, commercials to really put a lot of production value into either animation or people acting and reacting to what they see on the screen or what they are playing. Whether or not it's good or bad, I'll leave that up to you, but I think that played a part in it, because it framed people's minds around what this game could be. Because a lot of the times for older games, you really did have to use imagination,
Mhm.
especially with a t
Oh yeah. Especially when you were using those other peripherals like the zapper or like the oh I can't remember the name of it, but we talked about it on an episode. I think it was on the failed peripherals one where it was the thing that looked like a giant rocket launcher.
Oh, the Super Scope.
Yeah, the super scope. Like you really had to use your imagination for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that thing That thing was really huge, though. You didn't have to imagine too much. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like one thing that kind of bothers me about the modern way that games are advertised is
Mhm,
sometimes games will just be in their beta forever because they
mhm,
keep getting played and they keep getting updated, and it's like, well, people are paying money, so why do we gotta finish it? That's how it comes off to me.
right. Well, I mean, like, a good example of that is, I would say, the game Grounded.
Mhm.
Um, for years and years, that was in early access because people were, paying for the early access and would just keep playing, and they kept adding stuff to it until they finally were like, "Okay." It took them, oh god, it took them years, at least 3 or 4 years, maybe longer, before they finally took it out of early access because people would keep paying for it, and
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
now they have Grounded too, and so it's the same thing all over again.
that's what I'm saying, man. It's like, modern games seem like they have, like, a content calendar whenever it used to be an actual launch date, you know?
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe am I going Unk? Am I going Unk mode right now?
If you're going Unk, I've already hit Unk status, so don't even, yeah, don't hit me with that, please. I do wanna talk a little bit about some of the weirder side of the ads from the '90s, unless you wanna go into anything else that you got firsthand, but I found a few while we were doing some research, unintentional research, I should say, after the fun that was the last episode we released. We hung
Mhm.
out in Discord for a little while, and we were just kind of shooting the shit, and, the whole reason why this got kind of inspired is because when I stream, I use old '80s, '90s commercials as like my BRB screen, and one of them was like a video game one, and then we just kind of dove into all of them. But yeah, I have a few if you want to talk about those, unless you have other stuff that you want to go over.
No, I got plenty of weird examples, so we can hop right into that if you want.
Fantastic. I one of my so one of my favorites that I found was a Sonic the Hedgehog 2 ad from 1993. So, this is around the time, as you were saying, that people were, they were selling the consoles rather than the games themselves,
Mhm.
and just to prove a point of this ad was, basically designed like an infomercial, like the Slap Chop or like the Betty Crocker cake pan kinda stuff,
Okay.
legitimately. So, it was basically, it was an ad for a Sega Genesis console that came with a free copy of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 if you got the one that came with Sonic the Hedgehog 1. And they were showing it off as it was as if it was an infomercial. So they had like it was good for cleaning up stains, for hiding bald spots, for chopping things. And then they go, "Oh, by the way, did we mention that you can play the game too?"
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they had a point where they were like, the family will love it, dogs love it too, or pets love it too, or something like that, and they show the cartridge box sitting next to a dog eating its food in a little sweater. Really silly. But then even at the end of it, you know how a lot of those infomercials would have like that blue screen that's like the act now and all of the information for where to call or write to would be.
Yeah.
They had that blue screen, except for it specifically said at the top of it, "Do not call us." But it was like, "Go to your local store and ask how to get this," or whatever. But yeah, at the very top, it says specifically, "Please do not call us."
Okay.
But it was just
Okay.
a straight up infomercial ad for actually, let me see if I can pull it up and I'll drop it in here because I had it on my phone at one point, I think. It
Yeah,
was
please
either my
do.
phone or it was, yeah. Uh, okay. You go ahead with yours while I pull this up.
Yeah, the biggest examples of like contrast during the same decade is so early 2000s GameCube was coming out. They
Hmm.
launched with Luigi's Mansion. And I think we talked about this on a prior episode, but the commercial was this like kind of normal looking guy inching closer to a goth baddie. Why couldn't it be me? And he like goes in for a kiss, but looks into her necklace and then gets transported into this weird cube dimension of like flashes of Luigi's Mansion. And then at the end, she like turns into a GameCube. So I don't know if he was trying to smash the console or like what was going on there, but I
He
think
probably
this
was.
yeah, I don't know, but like this was like a I think this was a victim of the time. Whereas Mario Sunshine, that came out a year later, was like the super happy, cheery I don't even know what you would call it. It's almost like a oh man, it's like an Earth Day thing. It has nothing to do with the game. Like it shows game footage after this goofy song that these kids do, but they have this guy dressed in a Mario mascot costume picking up this really nasty tissue. It's like caked
Ugh.
in like diarrhea and caramel.
Oh my, oh my
And
God.
and yeah, I don't know. It's just but those came out within a year for the same console for the same like, you know, series. It's just so odd to me.
That is kind of crazy to think of how I mean that's I can't even process that. That's in for one, we have talked about the Goth Baddie one, I believe, before. Um, which is a wild for the time, but also kind of makes sense for them being a little edgy at that time. But at the same time, the Earth Day whatever one for Super Mario Sunshine just feels so out of pocket weird.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know. It's almost like the Japanese ads that they show where it's like has nothing to do with the product at all. And
Well,
then they just show
yeah, well that's why I wonder like did they intend for Luigi's Mansion to be a more adult-oriented game? Because that's how that
maybe.
comes off to me.
It really does. Thinking
Or
about
like
it
it
more
meant
and
for an older
more,
audience. I don't know.
maybe. I mean, I wouldn't say that it necessarily was meant for a kid audience to begin with, because you know, even though it was Luigi, like Mario was the family friendly character, and so doing something separate from Mario means it could have been directed at a different crowd.
I guess, but like most Mario games before that also included Luigi.
Yeah, but he wasn't the main character.
I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
Very
You'd
odd.
have to
I
ask the
watched that
people
Sonic commercial, by the
themselves.
way.
Yeah, how you feel about it?
It's just, I mean, it looks like the Betty Crocker commercials we watched the other day.
That's what I'm saying. It looks exactly like an infomercial of like, call to act now. Don't wait. You can miss your chance at a once in a lifetime opportunity for only 7 payments of 99.99. Like,
Can I also say this is where I actually think Sega did what Nintendo didn't Nintendo.
because
They
you said
made
you have a
like
stroke there.
sorry, they made like actual plastic cases for their games. Because
Right.
up until the GameCube, Nintendo was like, "Man, we'll put it in a cardboard box," which most
Oh
people
yeah,
threw
they would.
away.
Yeah, they would put them in cardboard boxes. People would throw them away. They would get damaged in shipping. Sometimes the fucking cartridges would just be broken.
So annoying.
Like it was a really poor quality.
It's extra annoying because like I like to collect old games, and sometimes I'd be finding a game that's in the box still, but because it's still
Mhm.
in the box, it's like 10 times the price. It's like, damn it!
Oh yeah.
Can I just have it loose? No. Okay.
Like if people were to have actually kept those boxes, the prices would not be as exorbitant as they are.
Yeah, that's how it be though.
But I mean, that's kind of the case for any game, if we're being honest. Like even nowadays, trying to find a PlayStation 2 game in the case, it's expensive. Like not
Yeah.
as crazy expensive, but like you can find stuff on my go-to site is DK Oldies. Shout out to you guys. You are fantastic. Not that you'll ever listen to this, but I I love their website. Or One Up. I think it's One Up Games or something like that. They're a Michigan-based company that ships out across the U.S. And if they
Um,
have the case, go ahead.
no, I don't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead. It's not
I was
important.
gonna say, if they have the case, they'll ship it to you, and it's usually only a small amount. But a lot of times they'll just send it in one of those little um yellow uh envelopes. You know what I'm talking about? Like the little ones that have the disc window on the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like they still make sure it's well taken care of and everything, but it's it's cool that like they don't charge an extra $80 just to get one with a case. If they had the case, they'll send it with it.
Um, I don't know if we can cut this out. I don't like DK oldies.
You don't like DK oldies?
Yeah, I don't. I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. You got a reason for it?
I do, yeah. Yeah, so they're really great about, like, giving you old consoles and everything.
Mhm.
I think I just know this is gonna be out and about. Okay, so they're a
I can
retro
cut it if
seller.
you want me to.
I mean, you can. I don't really care that much. First of all, I think they're kind of expensive, which, he can take that or leave that.
I will
They
say a
are
little.
they're kind of like they label themselves as refurbished, but a lot of the time they will include fake not OG cables. Like they'll
Yeah,
put in like the cheapy cheap, AV cables or like power adapters. Um a lot of the times their quality control isn't the best. So like I know they try to like buff out scratches or like clean up old games because over time things degrade. I get that, but uh
right.
I don't know. I think if you're gonna sell a product like that, you really gotta be upfront about it being in the condition that it's in.
No, that's
So
absolutely fair.
yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of them because of those things.
Here, I'll share with you games. I don't know if you've ever used them before, but I personally also love them. I think I would say that I do love them more than I love DK Oldies as much as I've used DK Oldies before in the past. I dropped in the actual recording booth chat, by the
Oh,
way,
thank
not
you.
the general on accident.
Yeah, I'll look at them.
Um, but they have like you can shop everything. They have
Okay.
like I'm just gonna pull up their PlayStation stuff because that's what my next one's gonna be about. But
Okay.
they have like 007 Racing. They have for 6.99, and it comes in the case with the actual disc. Like it is. They have some of their other ones like right now Need for Speed Pro Street on the Wii is 3.99. Like really cheap for what you're getting. And
Okay.
they try to make sure that it's as well cleaned and taken care of and as good as possible compared to
Yeah.
like go ahead.
That listen, this is all I'll say. If you want to cut all the rest, you can keep this in.
Uh-huh.
I I criticize them the most because their refurbishing standards don't always match up with like the premium price that they're charging for this stuff,
Right.
and that's not fair.
That's absolutely no, that's a valid point.
But
Definitely
one
give
up sounds cool.
one up though. Yeah, definitely give them a check. They're where I got a lot of my Nintendo 64 cartridges. Um
Okay.
yeah, but another one, we'll go ahead and jump to the PlayStation one since I brought that up.
Yeah.
The 90s were a really crazy time. A lot of their stuff was or a lot of the ads around there were very bold, like edgy. Um, they used a lot of like mascots and um, like bold personalities to gain attention rather than like nowadays where it's a lot of visual effects or like cinematics. making the game look as pretty as possible. In 1996, I believe it was, there was a company named Naughty Dog that released an exclusive for the PlayStation 1, and its main character became the unofficial mascot for years of Sony. Can you guess what
Uh-huh.
that is?
Frogger?
Not Frogger.
Crash Bandicoot.
It was Crash Bandicoot, of course. And,
Yeah.
yeah, it was I loved that game. Crash Bandicoot being this awesome platformer that released, they had the first 3 on there, and then they kind of expanded to Team Racing and Nitro Kart and all that stuff. They were all on different consoles, but the initial 3 being on PlayStation gave them a really solid base to make this character a mascot for the console, even if it was unofficial. To the point where in the 90s there were dozens and dozens of ads featuring a man in a oversized Crash Bandicoot suit. Um, these are phenomenal. There's dozens and dozens of them to the point where I couldn't even actually like pick one uh specific for this episode. But it's just I couldn't pick a specific one for this video, but just to list off a few, and actually I'm gonna throw this whole compilation into our general chat.
Okay.
Um, just to pick out a few of them, they had everything from um, Crash swimming in an Olympic-sized pool, just back and forth,
What
like,
is
and
this
wearing
thumbnail? Is
himself
he
out.
in Vietnam?
I wanna say he is. Like, just as crazy as there was one where he was introducing when Pizza Hut brought out the stuffed crust. Literally, he's standing outside the window of this family eating pizza and tapping on the window. He's tapping on the window and he's just trying to get their attention. And then he pulls out this little speakerphone and says, "Turn the pizza around." And then it's yeah, talking about the whole like stuffed crust in it. Um, and then, some were even as crazy as going, and this one I know we watched whenever we were doing our little research, driving all the way to the Nintendo headquarters, standing outside with a megaphone and being like, "Come outside, plumber boy, and face me."
I don't know how he got
Like,
away with that.
I don't know either, but that's what I'm saying is like all of those ads just got crazier and crazier. They had one where he was meeting Evil Knievel and then he jumped a couple of buses on this motorbike. Like just to then that was for I think the third game where they had the motorcycle levels in it. But like absolutely wild that like I don't know. I just find it crazy that at that time in the 90s that was considered just like a a brilliant tactic for getting people to buy your game. Like, hey, look at this dude who's basically just a man stuck inside the mouth of Crash Bandicoot because his face hole's in between the teeth. Um, they had scenes where at first I thought they were advertising Crazy Taxi, but they were advertising the Crash Team Racing, where they had him driving this limo around town, and people were complaining in the back seat about him going a mile an hour, or like pulling up to a stoplight next to a granny and revving his engine trying to get her to race him. Like these were legitimate ads from the 90s, and it's
I
just it's
Oh my gosh, I'm scrubbing through some of these. The Vietnam Crash Bandicoot is from it's advertising Crash Bash, which I think was their Mario Party clone.
that
And
sounds about right.
I found one where they're trying to advertise Twin Sanity, and they have some of the Jackass guys doing it.
Uh-huh.
Like they got Steve-O, and I don't know the name of the other guy, but they spin Steve-O
Johnny
around into
Knoxville.
like, is that him?
Yeah, I
This
think it
thing's
might be
effing
Johnny
blurry.
Knoxville. Yeah,
I
these are all from the '90s, so they're not, like, bumped up in quality at all. There's one as well, one of my favorite ones that, like, just because it would not hold up in modern day if they were to release it, is there's these people watching this movie. It's like this dude and his girlfriend, and, Crash Bandicoot walks in with a flashlight, and he starts giving all of these, like, games that are available on the PlayStation, and Sweet Tooth is sitting next to the dude, and he goes, "What would you rather be doing? Chick flick, video games. Chick flick, video games." And then it hard cuts to the dude playing video games in his at his place with Laura Croft sitting next to him as his girlfriend's outside knocking on the door trying to let him or get herself in. And Laura just looks at him and goes, "Who's that?" And he goes, "I don't know," as he keeps playing. Like, it's stupid. It would not hold up in the modern day. But some of these ads legitimately are the strangest fucking, like, I loved this era of ads with the Crash Bandicoot. There's one at the very beginning of the compilation of it's almost like a breaking news report. This reporter is talking to a policeman as he's explaining this whole situation that happened at a supermarket. And this dude's doing all of these. He's like running around the store like a crazy man, but he's just recreating little actions that you did in the first Crash game.
Okay.
Um, so it's like they show CCTV footage of this man like climbing up on top of like these shelves, running around, spinning in circles, getting himself dizzy. Like, it's so silly. And I even think there was one where they showed Aku or Apu Apu, whatever his name is, the tiki mask.
Yeah, the
Uh
bad one.
a guy, yeah, no, the good one.
Oh, Aku Aku.
Yeah, Aku Aku. Um showing a dude wearing like that as a face mask getting arrested because they were doing the crazy shit that happens in Crash Bandicoot games. Like, they went all over the place with their advertisements.
Oh my
I just
gosh.
Yeah, insane.
I you know, I think a lot of the time we think of commercials, I also think about how video games would have tie-ins with, like, physical products as a form of
Mhm.
advertisement. Like, you ever get the Mario SpaghettiOs? Or, like, the Mario spaghetti and meatballs in a can?
No, I don't think I ever did.
That's a thing, because they're
Is
Italian,
that?
I guess.
See, I know of, like, tie-ins with, like, TV shows and movies, like, when the most recent SpongeBob movie came out. I don't even keep up with them anymore, not since the one that came out in, like, the early 2000s with Ocean Man as the credits song.
Yeah.
Um, but the most recent one that came out, Kraft did a tie-in with them, and so you could buy boxes of mac and cheese that had uh, shells that were all based on the different characters.
Hmm, yeah. Well, that's the sort of thing I'm talking about, like, there's been Mario cereal, there's been, there's, like, a cursed image of, I think this is, a legit thing, not like a bootleg, but there's, like, Sonic the Hedgehog curry, and the sauce is,
What?
like, highlighter blue. Let me see if I can
Oh my
find
god.
it. I'm pretty sure that's a real thing.
I know at one point that there was a tie-in with, I think, a hot dog brand for Sonic because of the chili dogs thing.
Hot dog brand.
Yeah, I don't remember the brand, but I think it was a tie-in with Sonic, or it might have even been a restaurant tie-in for, like, the
Maybe it
fact that he
was.
loves chili cheese dogs.
Yeah, that would make sense. Oh, was it the restaurant Sonic? Maybe not.
It No, I don't think it was Sonic. I think that'd be too on the nose.
Well,
Um,
you know,
yeah. I mean,
I
on the
posted
nose
it.
is kinda let me see
It's
this.
nasty looking.
Oh my god.
I barely touched your Sonic limited edition curry.
For those of you listening, this is like this is the most disturbing dish I've ever seen. It's a white plate with white rice on the right side, and on the left side, it looks like a xenomorph vomited up chunks.
It's like if you melted Play-Doh and mixed it with milk.
Oh my god.
That's what it looks like. Nasty.
It's like a kindergartner had too many blue crayons and had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, this is bad. But that's what I mean. It's like these weird little things that where whether it's food tie-ins or like you said, movies or things like that, where these video games kind of trickle in outside of just being advertised in a commercial directly.
Do you have any others that you could think of since we went on this long tangent of um Crash?
More food? Let me think.
Yeah. Well, I
Oh,
mean, not even more food, but like more at weird ads too. Like I'm trying to think of different foods as well. I know that um there was a tie-in with Kid Cuisine at one point, or like something similar to a Kid Cuisine. Might have been just the banquet dinners,
okay.
but I'm trying to think of what the tie-in was. I could always just Google it real quick.
Yeah. Well, while you do that, so I mentioned with my 2000s commercials how they were kind of like victims of the time, especially Luigi's Mansion. You know, the like the
Mhm.
more edgy, darker look to them. When The Legend of Zelda came out, I think we also talked about this in another episode. But when that came out and it was brought to the US, people thought it would be cool if this weird kid would make a rap about it. And that was the commercial. Like they're playing the game and this kid's just rapping very badly.
Oh, you're talking about the Parappa the Rappa?
What?
Oh
No,
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 you're
Legend of Zelda.
Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's bad and not in a good way.
oh my god, this is horrible.
Yeah. But once
Oh, and I
again,
got an ad right at the end.
a victim of the times.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I'm not seeing oh, they had, well, no, this wasn't for the game necessarily, but they had, A Bug's Life?
Yeah, yeah.
So, Kid Cuisine had a tie-in where you could get free little tattoos, like, tattoo sheets inside your Kid Cuisine that were Bug's Life themed.
Oh.
Mhm. There was
Oh, I
also
see.
speaking of that, that totally threw me off, but in a good way. I just remembered one of the ads that I saw that I didn't write down on my list, but come to think of it, it was pretty weird. There was a whole video of, it's like these people in I wanna call it an asylum, maybe in a psych ward, and they're all trying to deal with their fear of bugs, right?
Okay.
Um, Different kind of bugs all over the place, not necessarily, like, horrifying, but, like, there's, like, a beetle inside a jar or, like a butterfly going through the room and this dude being terrified of it, and then it says something to the extent of, like, helping you get over your fear of bugs, and it shows this dude sitting in front of a CRT TV playing A Bug's Life, the video game for the PlayStation. Like, it's like not all bugs are scary or something like that.
I
Like
mean,
the ent
I guess.
the entire video is just leading up of, like, everyone being afraid of bugs, and then it's just this dude sitting in, like a folding chair playing A Bug's Life and going, "Oh, this is pretty cool." And I guess it's supposed to cure your fear of bugs? Like, I don't know
I
what they were going for.
Yeah, that's, huh.
I could see
I
if I
don't
could
know.
find it.
Sometimes they just miss the mark, you know?
Oh yeah,
But
very
despite that,
much
in
so.
some cases, it didn't matter.
Yeah, I will say that there was like now I'm just going off of a whole list of ones that I remember off of my brain. I hope I don't cut you off at all.
No.
Um, but there was one that I saw that was like very campy, but it was an ad for Resident Evil 2 or Biohazard 2 is what it was because it was a Japanese commercial. But
Okay.
it's literally this kid who can't be more than 14, maybe 15, dressed up as Leon Kennedy, running through this prison with actual like people in full zombie makeup. And then he bursts into a room, and then Claire Redfield bursts into the other room, and then they have a little look, and then it shows the ad for just Biohazard 2. And it's like as campy and as crappy as the acting was in the ad, it still got it across. It still did really well, and the game actually like did real good numbers, even with something as silly as that. So it's not always. It doesn't matter how lazy or like not lazy, but how what's the word I'm looking for? Um,
They, like, phoned in, or what do you mean?
yeah, kinda maybe. Like it looked like the kids were trying their hardest, but it was like you could tell it was very poorly directed.
Okay.
Um, so like as not necessarily phoned in, but just as low budget as it felt, it still did numbers.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. I think
Hmm.
too, you ever see, like, the weird games, like board games or, like, physical, like, weird toy games that video games spawned?
Explain.
So, Mario had a board game, I don't know if you knew that.
No, I did not.
Yeah, and it was, like, god awful, but you know, Mario was big, and it was another form of advertising, I guess. It was literally like you roll a die that had 2 colors on it, and you move 1 space or 2 spaces depending on the color. Um,
That's so weird.
but everybody plays as Mario. It was just it was weird. It was really bad. But there was a lot of examples of that back in the day. I mean, there was a Pac-Man board game, there was a Street Fighter board game. It just, you know, there's these things that aren't really necessary, but the novelty
Right,
is
games
kinda
that
cool.
shouldn't be board games.
Yeah, exactly. I
No,
don't
that is
know.
kind of weird. I know that in modern day they still kind of do a similar thing, like
What do you mean?
Lego, Nintendo and Lego. They have their whole
Oh.
entire Mario line.
I mean, that kinda works though, because like, I don't know, when I was a kid, I would always the idea of building your own world with Lego goes hand in hand, and I
Oh,
think there's an
100%.
equal allure to people wanting to build their own Mario levels, which is why I think Mario Maker was so level or it was so, wow, so popular. Um, but I think to a lesser extent, you could build your own world with Mario and have him jump around on Legos, you know what I mean?
That's absolutely fair. And they even
So, I don't
had
know.
where like, yeah, no, I mean that makes sense. I'm just saying like the tie-ins still continue to this day. They're not necessarily as prevalent. Like you don't really see a whole lot of tie-ins with food products or anything. You end up seeing more like toy lines.
Yeah. How about my
So,
friend the other day found a, you know, Little People? Like the toys, Little
mhm,
People? Uh, they have a Mario line because he's like, "Dude, I found this for you." And it was a little Yoshi.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's
I
also
think
really cool.
yeah, I know. It's cool because like, so when I go to conventions now, one of the things that I look for is, there's a company that makes build kits, you know, like Gundams or whatever, where you can get,
Right.
uh, the sheet and then pull it out and put it together. They
Mhm.
make Pokemon build kits. that
You
like
know what?
turn into really super nice looking figures. And I think it's the coolest thing in the world because you put it together yourself. It's really a fun activity. And at the end, you get a cool thing you get to put on your desk.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
I might have to look those up.
I'll send you the ones I have. They look honestly like they build into on model looking Pokemon. It's very good.
Hmm. Well, because like I love the. I might get shit for it from you, maybe, possibly, but I love the Mega Blocks Pokemon toys.
What?
So it's like, yes, like so I love Legos. I'm a very big Lego fan. I don't buy them as often because of how expensive they are,
Hmm.
but um, it was a couple years back, I think. Mega Bloks started doing this whole thing where um you could they released these sets that were of different Pokemon. So you could get like ones that were these little packages of Pokeballs, and when you'd open up the Pokeball, it had all the pieces to make like say an Eevee or a Pikachu or something like that. Or they had like their full blown kits that you could get that would be like a Blastoise, and it would be like this giant build. Um and they're all really cool. Like I love that kind of thing.
Well, so I was just memeing. I actually think they look really nice. I think they look better than the Lego ones they just come out with.
Oh, 100%. Lego kind of dropped the ball on that. Speaking of Mega Bloks doing better than Lego, one that I will always be at my top out of everything um, is the Mega Bloks Xbox 360.
What?
Have you seen this?
No, what is this?
So it is a. Let me see if I can actually pull up a little link and send it to you. Might have to do it from my phone because I type quicker with my thumbs. But so Mega Bloks made this Xbox 360 that you could build, and it came with the console and little Easter eggs inside the console on the pieces, very similar to the actual console itself. You could build a controller, and you could build the case for Halo Reach.
Do they work?
They, you mean like, could you actually play Halo Reach? No, but it did have little Easter eggs inside the console. Like I believe they had a picture of Master Chief's head, which was on maybe the motherboard or part of the frame or something of the actual Xbox 360 itself. Sorry, I had buffalo chicken quesadillas. I've got the hiccups.
um,
um,
that's cool. I really like that.
yeah. Mega Bloks Halo.
Can I also say I found my favorite Mega Bloks Pokemon.
Yeah.
I put it in the our chat. It's a little like 4x4 not to.
Why not? Hold on a sec. Oh my
Okay.
god. It's just it's a little cube.
I like it.
Just a straight up cube. So I'll have to post the Walmart ad or the Walmart listing for it basically because I can't find an actual website that holds it besides this.
Let's take a look at this.
It's
That looks
currently
awesome.
right? It's currently $139, but it used to be on sale for a lot less than that. But it comes with says a scaled a 3 to 4 scale replica with authentic build. So you had the Xbox 360, the controller, the case. It says removable panels reveal interactive interior, and it was compatible with other Mega Block brands. But it actually has like the full uh the full controller with like the back and starts buttons. It has the little symbol in the middle with the lit up player one. The internal of the actual console itself looks so cool. And then it even came with like a tiny little disc itself. Here's a picture of the internals. Let me see if I could post this in here.
When did this come out?
A couple years back.
Okay.
Like, look at the internals
Whoa.
on that, right?
That's cool.
Right. I love it. Halo 3 was what it was, not Halo Reach. Sorry, but still, like you can see the full internals of it. Um, it has a bunch of different interactive things on it. That's a little disc holder, so you can literally remove the side and put the disc onto it, and it would spin. Um, but yeah, really cool piece.
I
I've
love
been
that.
wanting to collect one for quite some time.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's one of the few like tie-ins that I think is cooler than any other.
Yeah, that one kinda that beats a lot of these, honestly. That's so cool.
Right? We kind of got a little sidetracked by that though.
No, no, well, all that to say, I think that's an interesting way that games are advertised. Because like, you see that and you're like, "Okay." Most of the time, I get that they're for people that are already fans, but
Right?
I don't know, I think it's another way to get people interested in the branding. You know what I
I
mean?
think you could genuinely hand someone that build of the Xbox 360 with Halo 3 who's never played Halo a day in their life, and I think they would enjoy putting it together so much that they might be interested in playing Halo. I think that that would work as a way of like reverse like instead of being a fan that builds it, being someone who builds it then becomes a fan, you know what I mean?
A Mega Bloks fan turned Halo fan.
Crazier things
Imagine
have
that.
happened.
You think they're like, "Oh my god, this took me 2 hours to put together. Is the game any good?" And that's how they try it.
I think they get done putting it together and go, "Oh, this is so cool. I wonder what the game looks like." And then they go and they play the video game. Or they buy themselves a console and take it apart and go, "This isn't what the inside looks like at all, not according to my Mega Bloks."
Where's Master Chief?
Where's Master Chief? Why is it so big? Like,
Oh, yeah, 'cause it's a scale, you're right.
yeah, it's 3/4 the it's a 3 to 4 scale. So it's almost the same size, but like a little bit smaller. But
So
it
interesting.
is, yeah, really crazy. Oh
How do you
man.
feel, to wrap up, how do you feel about every game company having a direct showcase now?
I mean, honestly, like I know some people will give me shit for the opinion, but I'm not necessarily against it. Um, I think, but my reason being is because we no longer have E3 or I don't know if we still have PAX either. I know we have South by,
Okay.
but E3 used to be the big one. It used to be the one where everyone would get all their shit ready to go. They would come out to E3 and then they would show everything off during the showcase. And when E3 stopped being a thing around the time of the pandemic, and they kind of like couldn't really convince people to go out to conventions because we all had to, stay inside. It made it very hard to like they couldn't get the funding, so they eventually had to stop making E3. And because they had to stop making E3, these people no longer had a place where they could show off all of these games that were being worked on at the time. So it just kind of made sense to have their own directs now. The Xbox Directs, the State of Play, the Nintendo Direct, and all that. Hell, even I think it might be a little overboard in some cases, like Epic Games having their own direct now to show off the Unreal engine that's being worked on or whatever. It was called the Unreal Direct or something like that.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
but like aside from some of the outliers like that, I don't know. I think it's fine. I think it gives us a lot of content to watch because E3 was kind of a set amount of time, so you can only show so much, and these people can now have dedicated, you know, shows to show everything they have to offer.
Well, I agree because like I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing, but if you are just looking at E3 or any of the other collection of showcases and you just
Mhm.
want to see the Nintendo stuff, no, you don't have to worry about that.
Right. Or
Yeah.
rather than, having to scrub through everything to try and find the ones that you're excited about, now it's just you have a specific one that you can watch.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I still think it would be cool if we had one where they could all get together because it feels like, and this is just my own personal thought on it, it feels like the companies are regressing. Like, yes, they have their own little platform where they can show off everything that they're working on, but it also feels like they're not it's not the same as it was back then. And that could just be because of the change of the times, but like they feel more like it used to be cutthroat. Like they used to
Yeah.
have like, oh, look at our game, like look at what this can do compared to what Xbox can do. Or like, oh, we have this game. Neither one of them has it. What do you think about that? And now it's just kind of like, oh yeah, we're Xbox. We're increasing our prices by $100, and three of the games that we showed off at our Xbox Direct um, did not, you know, can't be bought right now. So we're thinking about closing down the production companies. Like they're it almost became for Xbox specifically. This is my little gripe about it is it became almost like they were trying to do a bidding war with their Direct. Like the company that made Senua Saga, they're coming out with a third game just called Senua, and the company that is making it is at risk of being shut down because they weren't getting any offers to have them purchased, have the company purchased from Xbox, so they're thinking about shutting them down. So you're showing off a video game that's supposed to be coming out while also telling us that the company that's putting it together is at risk of being closed.
Yeah.
you know, or like
Mm.
they're thinking about closing up Double Fine. Double Fine being the people that made Psychonauts, Psychonauts 2, and a handful of other really cool games. But they're just, you know, it's crazy that their direct became more of like a bidding, like, hey, look at all these, people that we have. Why don't some of you, expensive companies purchase one of them?
I guess that's true. Yeah, it's just the stage of how games are presented nowadays. It's just so drastically different from where it started, which
Hmm.
is cool, but also it comes with its own set of problems, you know?
It
But it's
is.
not all bad.
It's not all bad, but it is all bad when you reveal a game, but the only thing that you do is show 5 seconds of video and then coming soon and nothing else for the next like 4 years.
True.
Um, Blade. Have you seen the trailer for Blade?
No.
Oh my god. So they released the trailer for Blade and then went totally radio silent. And it's not even a good real trailer for it. It's the same reason why I have gripes about we could talk about all the games that were announced, but I feel like it's been a little bit past the time, so we don't have to. But um it's the same reason why I have gripes about The Last Ronin that got announced by
Okay.
Platinum Games. They showed little scenes of just the New York sidewalk, and then it was like from the people that made Bayonetta and this and that, and then it just shows The Last Ronin, and that's it. There's no gameplay, there's no anything else. Like it's just The Last Ronin. Um,
Okay.
Blade did a similar thing. Let me pull this up. Blade trailer game. So this was announced 2 years ago at the Game Awards, right?
Yeah.
Um, it's like a minute long video, but um, all it really is just it shows um the character Blade getting a shave in a barber shop, being like, "I promise I don't bite," and then lights turn red. He goes into full on like getting ready to kill these fucking dudes, and then it just shows Blade, and that's it. There was no reveal. This is 2 years ago. It's been radio silent. No one said anything about it. It could very well be dead, and no one would know. Or even with like the Wolverine game. I have gripes about Marvel games as much as I love them. The Wolverine game, it took them years to finally actually show gameplay of it, but the first thing that we saw was just Logan's fist on a bar as he unleashes his claws, and then it was like Wolverine coming out soon.
Do you think there was hype around Blade because it's been so long since the movie?
I mean,
And that's why they
it,
didn't show so
it
much?
maybe, but I mean, it also hadn't been so long since we'd seen. I think it's also to its detriment the fact that the movie got canceled or got pushed back because there was the initial Blade movies, and then Wesley Snipes came back in Deadpool and Wolverine, um, and said there's only ever going to be one Blade, and then they announced a new Blade movie, and that got pushed back and canceled, and so like it could be a fact of like they're expecting it to fail, maybe. I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
But it's just that's one of my own little gripes about modern day ads is like they don't really show you anything. They wait until, as we said before, they wait until they're further along and then they let other people stream it and then you get to see it for yourself rather than like actually showing off some of the game and stuff.
Well, so it pains me to say this, but like as a big corporate game developer, you don't have to pay for that advertising, so why would you? Because other people are going to do it for free.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's almost a disservice because these people have to be fake and enjoy it. Not necessarily, but like
No,
in a
most
lot
of
of
the time.
cases, I was gonna say in a lot of cases, these streamers will sign a thing where they have to talk good about the thing. Um, very v- very few times will there be a thing where it's like, oh yeah, this game is trash. Like they genuinely, even if they hate it, they have to be like, oh, we're having so much fun, yada da 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 da. Like there have been games that have come out that like looked so cool when um streamers were playing it, and then when people actually got their hands on it, it was dog shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the
Like
trouble.
this is a really like this is a really far out there one that most people won't know. But back in the day, early 2019-ish, maybe 2017, so like almost a decade ago,
Okay.
um, there was a company that is now defunct called Rooster Teeth.
Okay.
Yep. We've talked about them before, I think, maybe outside of recording, but they were the people that made Ruby and Red versus Blue.
Mhm.
Um and they had their own video game. Now, the trailers didn't really do it justice, and what they had was their people from their company streaming and playing this game and trying to make it look as cool as it could, even though it was janky. and they knew it was janky, and they still had to fight through it and be like, "Oh, this is so much fun." Um, the game when it released and people started actually playing it and stuff were like, "Oh, this is trash. Oh, this is god awful." Like, I listened to these people who said it was fun, and it was not fun, and then within, like, a week, it died out. Servers were completely empty because this was a multiplayer game. Like, it was, like, in the vein of a, trying to think off the top of my head, I wanna say it was in the vein of, like, one of those 1v4s, like, one
Okay.
person played as a monster of some sort, and then the other people or it was closer to, like, a team deathmatch, maybe? It's been so long, I can't even remember, it was so bad. Um, but it was, like, all of the characters were voiced by the people that worked at the company too. So like they had people playing as their characters trying to make it look fun and all of this stuff and it did not go as they planned. So it's like it goes back to my whole thing of like you need to be able to play for yourself. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
can't just trust what someone else is saying or trust that a streamer who's playing it is actually being honest about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what makes it tricky these days. I don't know if and to be honest with you, it seems like it's heading in a direction that it may or may not get any better. You know what I mean? Like we may never go back to what it was like.
I mean, I don't know. I agree with you in that sentiment, but I also know that like older trends are starting to come back, you know? Like the 90s aren't necessarily back yet, but people are starting to lean heavily into nostalgia core with a lot of different things. And so we could see here in the next decade, maybe decade and a half, um, companies going back to that of like, oh, these people don't care about the reviews anymore. Like they don't care
Mhm.
that it got rated a 9.5. Let's throw some guy into a random Crash Bandicoot suit again and make him do outlandish shit.
Yeah, totally.
Like there's always the chance for it. As slim as it might be, there's always a chance. But that being said, do you have any other things that you want to talk about before we end it?
Uh, no, I think, yeah, to, like, tie a knot on it, I think the marketing of games has kind of evolved from if I were to summarize, the
Mhm.
marketing of video games has kind of evolved from selling the actual hardware, like a boxed, put a bow on it product, to building, like, a long-term community, which is cool. I think that kinda brings people together in a different way than it has, but
Mhm.
also it comes with its own set of problems, you know what I mean? 'Cause it now relies on personalities and a long line of updates, sometimes the player identity itself whenever they approach a game. So,
Mhm.
what that'll look like in the next 10 years? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Just to add on to that point, when you say like the updates and stuff, it also gives them an excuse to not release a full game.
Right.
You know, they can release a partially completed game with missing a whole bunch of features and then add them in later battle passes or what have you and be like, "Oh, this was, planned all along. We just decided to add it for this season."
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
instead it gives them yeah, it gives them an excuse to release features that should have been there on release, but they just didn't have it ready in time.
Yeah, and I know, like I know people clown on how long GTA 6 is taking, but I would rather a game take that long to develop and be really good than for it to be dropped in beta and to, most of the time, die out during that
Mhm.
beta release lifespan. And then when it's finally fully released, people don't care enough to actually get the game.
There's very few games that have done that and done it well, No Man's Sky being one of them. That
Yeah.
game was bare bones when it first came out, and then throughout the constant updates that it's gotten, even, as recent as maybe last year, I think it was one of their big updates. But it's like it started off with like this they had all this plans for all of these features to be in there where you could hang out with your friends and visit them on fellow worlds and all this stuff. And none of that was in the game at launch. You could travel to the same planet that your friend was supposedly at and stand in the same spot and never see them. But nowadays, like, it's still a very popular game, and they're still adding features to it, and it's gotten better and better over the years. And that's one of the few games that I could say, like, despite coming out unfinished, has been able to keep up the steam, keep the train a rolling.
Most of the time sucks.
Yeah. 98% of the time sucks.
Yeah.
But that's everything that we have for this episode. We kind of went on a few tangents, but I think the message was pretty clear there. Um, let us know in the comments. I'm going to do it this time. This feels weird because I've never done this before.
Okay.
But let us know in the comments if you remember any weird ads from your childhood, or if you have any vague references to them. Try and see if you can find them, and if you can, let us know. I would love to know what some of the commercials that you grew up watching were, especially whenever we go into stuff like the Crash Bandicoot or like the infomercial Sonic and all of those things. So yeah. But that being said, I have been your host, Koda. This has been Cubic. We
Yes.
appreciate you guys for listening, and we'll see you next time. Okay, bye.
Bye.
My voice cracked.